industry. She is an entrepreneur and a life transformation coach. She is a certified master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. She also has a master's certification in family life practice, as well as emotional intelligence and life coaching. As a life transformational coach, she is committed to helping individuals, couples, families, and organizations gain the clarity required to actualize their goals, become best version of themselves in order to live more fulfilled lives. She authored a book titled Becoming a Confident You. She also positively impacts the general public through social media, seminars, and workshops with our life enhancement messages. Ifechukwu lives in Lagos with her husband and children. Hi, Ife, that was about you. Amazing one there.
I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we have Joy Ugbosu. She started her career in education and training industry. She worked with NIIT Nigeria for years and stepped out as the manager in Victoria Island branch. She added to Chams PLC, a pioneer staff of the Chams Varsity, before she moved to work with the GMD Sir Ademola Aladekomo, after which she set out to pursue her dreams in ICT and education sector. Joyce is a portfolio entrepreneur and has pioneered several registered businesses like Infosys Digital Solutions, the Infosys Hub, Blue Strides Consulting, Lakewood British School, JMAT Concept, JMAT Supermarket and Kiddies Event, Youngpreneur Africa. She is also the founder of Mover Foundation, a non-profit organization with a vision to train and empower young people. Joyce is a distinguished international speaker and trainer who has authored other books like Back Against the Wall and The Waiting Room, including published and unpublished online articles, content creation for trainers and facilitators. Please, guys, can we give Joyce and Ifechukwu the family meeting welcome? I want the chat box to buzz. If you listen to these ladies, if you listen to their profile, you will agree with me that they are good enough to handle this topic. Look at the class of achievements so far. You want to wonder, so how have you been coping? How did you do it to have attained this? And so I will go to Ifechukwu first. Yes, thank you, thank you. Please bust them, welcome them in the chat box. So Ife, admin, can you please spotlight the three of us so that I can see us? Can you spotlight the three of us? Thank you. Okay, so Ife, yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
When I was introducing this program, I talked about people setting SMART goals. And I also mentioned the statistics of only 8% achieve their goals. Can we start from there? What do you understand about this so that people really understand what I just said? Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me once again. Good morning, everybody. I'm already excited to be here. You know, when you started, you said that according to statistics, that 8% of people, you know, achieve their goals, and then 92%, you know, kind of struggle with achieving their goals. That means that they don't even achieve. And then you were saying that you were wondering, you know, what happened to the 92 of the people percent. Now, from experience, personal experience prior to self-development, and from observation, I've realized that, you know, oftentimes people have, you know, an idea, or people have, you know, big dreams for them, you know, but how, especially when it's like the end of the year, you know, you begin to hear things like, next year I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Next year I'm going to build a house. Some people say I'm going to double my income, this and that. Then you would realize that there are systems that propel people, propel people able to achieve their goals. So it is one thing to desire something, right? It's another thing to be able to understand the processes or the systems that you need to be able to put in place to be able to achieve it. For example, someone can say that he wants to maybe change his job, right? And that's for the next year. Let me say this is 2023, and then you see someone saying, I want to change my job, for example. Now, this person is genuinely wanting a change, right? But then you look at certain things. Maybe this person wants to change a job. He has not sent out his CV. He's not doing any form of personal development. He doesn't look, you know, out for job posts so that he can even apply. So you will notice that, yes, he wants to do this, but then he wants to change his job, but then it remains like wishful thinking because he has not been able to put steps in practice, right? So it's possible for you to want something, but if you don't intentionally work your way to achieving it, you may not be able to do that. So that is why people, you know, end up not scoring their goals, and then it becomes, you know, like a cycle, right? Every year, set goals, half of the year, beginning of the year, they are not scoring the goals. So, and I'm excited that that's why we're here, you know, to be able to illuminate or help people to understand the processes that they need to go through to be able to get their goals to be achieved.
Wow. Thank you very much. You have come in from the perspective of people not putting themselves in that place. Not preparing, not really putting themselves in that place. Sorry, I'm trying to. I could see that my laptop network. My laptop network is malfunctioning, so I'm trying to connect via feedback. If you came in from the perspective of people not taking the necessary steps, let me just go from here. People not taking the necessary steps to do what they're supposed to do. Okay, you understand neuroscience to some extent, and I want you to talk about this from that perspective, saying that there's supposed to be an alignment between what you are thinking, so that it won't be wishful thinking. She talked about taking steps. What do we need? What is the alignment necessary from the unseen to the seen? I don't know if you understand what I just said.
Yes.
Knowing that there's some energy that we need, that we require to actually.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, yeah. I do. Okay. So good morning, yes, everybody. Please. It's a pleasure to be here. So before I go into that the science part, I would want to start by saying a lot of people want stuff, they wish stuff, they write them down, Ife, or is it Ife Chukwu mentioned something like that?
Ife is fine.
Ife Chukwu. So they write things down, they write good down. But the first question I will ask: do you really desire it? Are you willing to get it at all costs? If you are willing to get it at all costs, then you will drop the fear. You drop the fear, because one of the things that stop people is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of it will not work, fear of what people will say, fear of rejection, so many fears. Now, come from the science part of it. There's something so before I started knowing about science, about my mind and how to use it, I find myself desiring stuff and fear comes in, then I procrastinate. That's how it works. Okay, so because you want to do it, you really want to do it, but so you start shifting it. I'll do it tomorrow, and that stems up from a place of fear. Now, what understanding my mind and how it works has helped me is these things have actually happened. They have happened in the realm of the unseen. What are you seeing? What are you saying with your mouth daily about that your goal, about that your dream? That's where affirmation comes in, the words that you speak, meditation, So you sit in one place. I'm a Christian, so I'll talk from the perspective. You can pick a scripture and sit on it based on your desire, based on what you want to go for. And if you will notice that if you start practicing these things daily, changes will come. Changes for me, my changes started really, really last year. So I worry a lot. I can worry for Africa. I worry over little things. Bird that is flying, cockroach is passing somewhere in my house. I'm just worried about everything. But guess what? And I started studying my mind and how to use it. I started noticing that you need to get yourself from the physical realm to be one with God, to agree with Him and align yourself and, the things that you want in life. And once I pick one and I start connecting with God and I start praying towards it, affirming towards it, I see that these things start happening one after the other. So we need to, live from the inside out. The world is a noisy place. So we need to learn how to live our life from that place of stillness. You understand? Then you start developing the muscles. You start gaining the confidence, to face the daily challenges. And then you see that you start, smashing those goals one after the other.
Evan, can I
awesome.
Can I say something quickly?
Yes, please.
Adding to what Joyce said.
Yeah.
Yes,
please.
When it comes to goal scoring or goal setting, one thing is needful. You need to be clear. You need to gain clarity on what exactly it is that you want to achieve. Right? Now, this is the first step. Because I've also noticed that over time, with the incoming of social media, you see people who want to achieve goals, maybe because I hear now that Joyce has a school, a British school. Then I'm like, Joyce must be cleaning out. Then I suddenly say, I must get, I must now also start up my own school, So it's more like my goal. I want to now start a school, not because it is something that I want to do, but because I see that some people are succeeding there. So one thing is needful. You want to be clear on why you want to even, achieve this goal. You want to also be clear on what is important to me. Mm-hmm. So what would having this goal, achieving this goal do for me? Now, when you are looking at it from that place of value, like, okay, if I achieve this goal, what would I get? What would I feel? What would I achieve from it? It helps you to be able to have a strong sense of your why.
Why?
Because if you don't know what your why is, you will notice that even when, yes, you're clear on the goal, if you don't have a strong why, you know, certain times in life, there's no clear-cut principle or system for you to be able to, or that guarantees you success in that area. So sometimes you experience obstacles. So it is that your why that will actually be able to propel you forward. And then Joyce said something. A lot of times people are afraid, you know, of the goals that they have. They keep on pushing what they need to do today for tomorrow. But then, even if you want to set a goal, you want to also be able to ask yourself, you know, what is the belief? What is the current belief that I have about myself? What is the current belief that I have about this goal, right? Because if you're telling yourself that you're the kind of person that wants to maybe build a conglomerate, or you're the kind of person that wants to achieve a certain kind of goal, and then in your heart, you don't believe that you can achieve it, and then you notice that you begin to give yourself excuses, not wanting to even achieve the goal. So one thing that you need to do is to be able to, number one, be clear on what you want to do. Number two, what belief, why is this goal important to you? You want to also ask yourself, what do I need to believe for this goal to be realized? Who do I need to become for these goals to be realized? So if you're able to sit down in that place, you know, to be able to gain clarity about these things, you would realize that it becomes a lot more easier as against when it's just vague, you know, and you know, when it's vague, it's more like wishful thinking. So that's what I wanted to add to what Joyce is saying, because even if, you know, you're seeing it in the realm of this, of the spiritual, if you're not activating, you know, certain systems, like your value, knowing what is important, knowing your beliefs, you won't be able to bring it, you know, to materialize. So that's why I wanted to add to what Joyce said.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Joyce and Ifechukwu. Joyce talked about fear and procrastination. These are two powerful things that if we're going to be practical and think about all those things, about scoring our goals or achieving our goals, fear, procrastination. You know, when Joyce was talking, I just remember in those days where I used to procrastinate. You see, the fear will grip me, right? I will know that something is wrong and I have tasks on my table. Do you know what I do? I avoid my table. It's an unconscious thing. I'll be running away, you know, I will move from the table, move to another table, and I will so ignore that table. But my mind will be there that you're supposed to pushing it until deadline now comes to be like, okay, so you're submitting this thing tomorrow. That's when I rush to do it. So fear and procrastination, we're trying to be very practical here, guys, so that you can see yourself in it. And talking about fear and procrastination, Ifechukwu now talked about what, if you understand your why, then it will be easier. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay. If you know your why, if you're clear about what you want and what you want to achieve, you will not be jumping from being an entrepreneur like Joyce to running to want to be a transformation and want to run to another thing. If you're clear about your why, you would know what, and she talked about belief. What belief do you have? Do you know that this is one of the reasons why, even if pastors do their declaration at the end of the year, saying that in the first half of the year, we're going to have 100 millionaires in the church, because your belief is not in alignment with what the pastor is saying. As the pastor is saying, you are calculating in your head. Doing that, you're sabotaging yourself. You're shutting down that part that will make the reality come to pass for you. You're shutting and you're judging it and you're making it in now your type. The pastor knows the people he's talking to, you know, and this is what part of the things we need to pay attention to, our beliefs. Now, I want us to talk about, I think it was Ifechukwu that talked about putting things in place. And that is, I desire a beautiful life at the end of 2023. I want to live in Banana Island. I want to have this car. I want to have so amount in my account. But the lifestyle, the life I am leading, the style of life, those things I am doing now is not tended, you know, saying that in the process of achieving our goals, we have to become something. If you're going to become something, you want to become a medical doctor. You want your child to become a medical doctor. You have made every effort to put the child in beautiful school, in a beautiful school where they have good teachers and all. And you now say, by the time the child gets to grade 11, or is it grade 10, or what class is that? You said the child should go to the arts class. Is that directing the child towards being a medical doctor? No. So you want to achieve something. That means right from now, you have to put some systems and structures in place. And that is the style. You want a life, and that is the style. So what are the style you put into it? What are the behaviors? What are the emotions? What are the, I think Joy mentioned something like that. She talked about affirmation and all. What are the styles? And so I'm going to allow the two of you to talk about this. If you will start then, because I know there's a tendency that you have the same ideas to read, but I want you to please, as much as possible, give us practical examples that we can run with. This is the essence of it, of this meeting. Practical, enough of talking theory, enough of blowing big grammar. We want to achieve our goals. So what are the styles? What are the things we need to do? Apart from talking about our belief, we are clear about it. Even if you're clear about it, if you don't make some moves, there's a tendency that it's just a wishful thinking, you know. Yeah. So Ifechukwu, over to you now.
Okay, thank you. Let me say, for example, let me give myself as an example, since you said you want us to be practical. You know, like for me, my goal, right, is to, you know, I told you at the beginning, I'm an entrepreneur. So at the beginning of every year, right, in as much as I have long-term goals, I also have short-term goals, right? So let me say, for example, in my products business, I already know how much I made in the previous year, right? I already know what my financial goal is for, you know, this year and then the next year and even 2025, right? So would I now say, okay, because I was able to, you know, score my goal in 2022, I'll now go and sit down and relax? No. So for me, what I now do is that I break down this, my goal, into small actionable steps. Like I kind of build my goal into my lifestyle. So when you are talking about your goal, be it financial, be it personal development, because goals have different sections to it, be it your health goal, right? You want to be able to break this big goal into smaller actionable steps. Like for me, you know, I wake up in the morning, I have routines. I have the things that I do that kind of preps me for the day. Now, I know that I have to also contact some of my partners, right, to be able to ensure that the goal of the business is running. I need to make sure that the products that I sell, okay, is still available in the distribution channel, right? So I have a system. I break down these goals into smaller, you know, actionable steps. As a coach, right, every single day, I invest in personal development. I read. Right? Why do I read? I read to be able to improve myself. Okay, so it depends on what your goal is. Now, for example, if your goal is weight loss, you want to be sure that, you make exercise a daily routine. So that means that you need to be able to break down, let me say you want to lose 10 kg at the end of the year, right? You want to be able to now break that 10 kg into maybe smaller kgs, maybe 1 kg a month. Now, if you say you want to lose 1 kg a month, right? Because I usually tell people to start small. Because anytime I realize for me that anytime I begin to, give myself so much goal, like set a very high target for myself, sometimes it makes me start feeling agitated and anxious. So what do? I kind of break it down, into smaller routines so that it will be easier for my mind to accommodate, right? It will also be easier for me to achieve. So if you want to now like lose weight, your goal is 10 kg or 12 kg. You can say, okay, every month I'm going to lose 1 kg. Then you now want to break it down into routine. Okay, I'm going to exercise 20 minutes a day, right? It now boils down to, your own feeding habits, right? You want to now go on a diet. Okay, how do I now do this? So it is one thing for you to be able to want to set it and, achieve your goal. But for me, I like to break it down into smaller steps. I want to put, systems in place. I want to make sure that my environment also accommodates the goal that I want to set. For example, now, for the whole of last year, I didn't drink Coke because Coca-Cola, I'm not saying is bad, but it was somehow becoming an addiction for me. Like every single day I can take a bottle or 2. And I realized that this, if I continue that way, my health will deteriorate, right? So I told myself that I needed to break that addiction, right? So I ensured that I didn't have, Coke in my fridge. And even when I had the Coke, I gave myself a very strong why. So each time I have that craving, then I remember that, okay, this is the reason why I'm doing this. So in as much as, yes, sometimes it is not comfortable, but then I see myself, following through, and I followed through. And guess what? It gave me more confidence. I was very excited about it. So if you want to be able to score your goal, you want to be able to prep yourself to have a routine. Design a routine that will enable you to achieve that goal. Know that how I will achieve my goal may not be how Ebon will achieve her goal, may not be how Joyce will achieve her goal. Why? Because we're all different people. We are different, we're humans, we're all meaning-making machines. The way things work for me is not the way it works for Ebon. It's not the way it works for Diola. It's not the way it works for Winifred, right? So know yourself, be aware of yourself, know how things work for you, and build systems and build routines that will propel you to achieve this goal. So let me allow Joyce to also, add to this conversation.
Ife, you have said it all. You have said it all. What am I supposed to say now? Okay, so
I know you have something to say. I know.
Okay. So routine. She touched a bit on routine. Let me deal with routine. Okay. Routine works. Routine works. If you can't get a routine, put it down, then stick to it. You need to show up every day for that routine. You see your life move forward. So I take a practical example of myself. What I do daily. I wake up in the morning, pray, meditate. Those are the 2 first things I do. I read for at least 1 hour. I write. I'm an author. So there must be something for me to write about. My exercise is not every day, but I do it like 3 times a week. All right. Now, these things gives you a very balanced lifestyle before you head up for the day. You can do 3 or 4 of these things. And you see, it's discipline. It's making up your mind to do it. So while people are sleeping, you can decide to, so I beat my alarm. But like, if I put an alarm for 3 a.m., I'll wake up 2:50. If I put an alarm for 4 a.m., I'll wake up 3:55. So it's systems. She talked about systems and setting systems and structures to fit into that thing that you're pursuing. So I've set my systems already, and it doesn't come in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day, please. So that you're not live here trying to work yourself out. That she said that we should be doing routine. No, you work it out and your body will start aligning with that routine. So what is it called? Goal settings, everything. She said everything now, but then your system, your body has to wake up to it. And how does your body wake up to these things that we're talking about? Is because you are hungry for something. My question to everybody listening to us this morning is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want that goal smashed? How bad do you want to achieve stuff in 2023? So if you follow me, I started my 2023 with a bang, meaning I have been preparing for this year. I'm angry. You need to be angry about some things happening in your life for you to get to smash some goals. If you're just comfortable, I was telling my kids some days, 2 days ago that, see, have you seen anybody that hunger killed, that's suffering? Because if you hear my story, I suffered, but we didn't die. But guess what? This day and age, what is the problem? Enjoyment. Children have access to gadgets, they have access to enjoyment, Wi-Fi. So it's a problem for them to now focus. I had to collect all my children's gadgets this week and went to my office to lock it up. I said, take further notice. Because you guys need to read your book, and the next thing I will do is to put up the Wi-Fi. I have friends that they don't have Wi-Fi in their house anymore. So these are also systems and structures. Because if you don't put these things in place, your children will go haywire. You're trying to be a good mom, 21st century mom, trying to, my children, they have gadgets, they have laptops, they have video games. But if you are not able to put these things together and manage them properly, it will become a problem for you. That's how your life is. As a person, as a human being, as an individual, that put goals together. We are all writing in the beginning of the year. We write, what are those names again? Goal settings, master. What are the names? There are some names that used to fly up beginning of the year. Please, you guys remember me those New Year resolution. All those things. Do you know that by now, some people's New Year resolution is under their bed 3 weeks after the beginning of the year? Heaven said it's, pastor has decreed. They are so religious in this part of the world. Amen. Oh, you have dominion. You have shaky. You have, different kinds of names. And you leave your house. You do not even believe that thing that the pastor has said. You do not even believe it. How do you live it? I talked about being hungry for it. A lot of us are not hungry for stuff. We just lip sync. And this year I want to blow. This year I want to do like this. This year I want to do like that. When you get home, what do? Some people go to Z World. Some people go to news. Some people. But one thing for me, I was having a family meeting with my kids this morning, and I told them something. I said, for me, knowledge made a difference. Yesterday night, I couldn't sleep. My face is all over Lagos, all over social media for Next World University. I'm a Next World ambassador. And so they decided to use me, my ads this period. And everybody's calling me, oh, I saw you on the billboard on Victoria Island. I saw you here, I saw you there. So I called my kids and I was showing them on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and I was showing them. I said, do you think if I did not go for knowledge, Next World will spotlight me? No. Every single thing I have achieved today is because I decided to go for knowledge. Knowledge made the difference. And I'm still reading till date. I showed them my first degree graduation certificate. And I said, I showed them. And they saw it. I graduated top of the class. Not be beast. It's not today matter. We've been on it. I've been young. It's a decision I took by myself. Nobody forced me. So you need to take a decision as an individual that this life, I did not come to take a stroll in the park. I came to leave my footprints in the sands of time. And you start saying it and you start living it. I've been calling myself Joyce to the world for years. Yesterday, I put a post on my status that when I was saying I'm Joyce to the world, a lot of people do not understand. But here I am on Nextword platform all over the world. Some people in Asia know who Joyce Ubosu is right now. Do you know what that is? That is huge for me. I don't know about you. For someone that did not have any platform, no father, no mother, I struggled everything for myself. And some people will not know why I am catching fire. I'm saying that these things work if you are able to do it daily. They work. It's not magic. It's not prayer. There's some things you don't need to pray. There's some things you don't need to pray. Just do what you do. The law of life, just do it and you get your result daily. Let me leave it here. I'm so passionate about this topic. Let me leave it here.
Oh, God, Joyce, I see the passion with which you are talking. And even Ifechukwu, I see the passion, I see the fire in the two of you. And I really appreciate I really appreciate this. Thank you very much for going all out to throw it this way. And this is part of the reasons why we need to do this. We needed to do this, and this is part of the reason why we're saying that, guys, we can't continue to do things the same way and expect a different result. We can't continue to do that. And this is talking about every one of us here. What was your result? I think it was Ifechukwu that was talking about her result last year and saying that, okay, if she just feels, I have arrived, I should just sit there. What will happen to her this year? This is to challenge us to say that there is room for more. Right. We have limitless potentials. Very limitless potentials. A lot is available for you if you're ready to tap into it. Joyce mentioned that you'll be surprised, you'll be amazed that a lot of people that set their goals at the beginning of the year, this is the 5th week in the year, and some people have dropped it. Some people have dropped it. Why? Maybe their why was not strong enough. Or is it that they don't have the right information? Or what? What could it be? What's the problem? Okay, so if you're saying that you don't really have the right system and structure in place, how do you go about it? Joy just mentioned setting a routine. Ifechukwu also talked about having a routine. See, routine has been proven 99.9% good and absolute for living the kind of life you desire. Because repetition, when you repeat something, it becomes part of you and you're not able to stop it. One of them, I can't remember who said that, who are you becoming? Because it is not about just achieving the goal, but who are you becoming in the process? And the person you're becoming in the process is very important. Very, very, very important. Because you cannot, that was the word I got in December, that thing you did to strive, it's not the same thing you need to thrive. That means I need to step up my game. So guys, we need to step up our games. We desire something. Do you just want to drop it? I'm going to ask the two of you to talk about growth mindset and fixed mindset, because this last week I also discovered that some people have that growth mindset. Some people, they just have fixed mindset and they just sit there. It's not their fault. You understand? They really wish they can be on fire like Joyce is, like Ifechukwu is. But they just don't know how to go about it. And so I'm going to ask you a question about that. When I finish this, I'm trying to paraphrase everything that you guys have said. And to say that, what are the routines you have in place? You need to prep yourself. You need to prime yourself every day. You need to put yourself in the state. You want something, you're still in bed at 10 a.m. How? It wasn't as if you slept at 4 a.m. working. You slept at 11 a.m. watching movie to wake up at 10 a.m. Will that give you the desired results? The people you follow on social media, who are they? What are the kind of things you listen to? Will that give you the results that you desire? You know, Praise Forward said it in December that those groups that you are, those WhatsApp groups, that you just go there, you just be talking things that is not relevant to your goals. Do you still want to remain there, or you want to exit the group? What are the things taking your time? Because so when we're talking about behavior and lifestyle, these are the styles that you need to pay attention to. How do you wake up in the morning? Do you wake up in the morning and you pick your phone and you started going through and scrolling down? You know, on Facebook and IG, we'll just be scrolling down. Where are you going? You just be scrolling down. You wake up in the morning and that's the first thing you're doing. Is that going to give you the desired results that you want? Is it part of your duty? Is it part of your to-do? And if Ifechukwu talked about breaking your goals down, having a to-do, you have a long-term goal, you have a short-term goal. How do you access, how do you process? What are the things you put in place daily? So we're talking about the 8%. What are the 8% doing to get their results? These are part of the things. They don't just go on social media and just be chatting unnecessarily. They have something in mind. They have a focus, so they are focused. They work with people that will pull them and drag them along. What are the systems you're putting in place as a married woman or a father in the house to say that this, my children, this year, you create a structure on how you interact, the things you tell them and all. So these are part of the things you need to do. Please, if you are interested and you want us to take you through the process, please reach out to me privately and we can help you. There's a system and a structure in place that we have that we take you through. So I want to read some of the things while Joyce and Ifechukwu are getting ready to talk about the growth mindset so a lot of people wish for a change. They are not ready to work for the change. Yeah. But do you know that some people don't even know they don't even know how to go about it. So we're going to talk about that now. Olajumoke, I will respond to your message soon. Yeah, Olajumoke said she's loving this meeting. Grace said it's a ginger. Thank you so much. I was helping her catch her breath. How did you show me? Thank you. I know you are that kind of a person. That she likes her passion. Thank you so much for that comment. So Joyce and Ifechukwu, I think Joyce will start first. Can you please explain to us, or do you understand this growth mindset and fixed mindset? See, there are a lot of people that want to do good. They want to attain, they really desire it. But they don't have I don't know, there's this thing, there's this might, there's this strength that you desire. How do you think those people with that fixed mindset, because they're just used to a way of life because of the environment from which they grew up from, what do you think they can do to catch fire like the two of you? Joyce.
Okay, so growth mindset. First of all, growth mindset, fixed mindset. Let's simplify it. Sometimes this grammar is so confuse us. So when we speak too much grammar, we now simply put growth mindset, the person that doesn't want to add to their knowledge, the person that just feels that I know it all. Have you met people like that? That argue. You are telling them something. I'm telling somebody something with facts and figure. And the person in 1988, this was how it was done. And this is how it should be done. So I'll bring a practical example of Peak Milk, of Baileys, and the rest of them. If they had agreed to be on that their premium level, we only do canned milk, we only do, people like Cowbell came and swept them off their markets, swept the market off them with sachet. Probably somebody went to them with an idea that, see, there are poor people in Nigeria, can we just do sachet milk? And they said, no, we are premium. We are premium people. We don't do. I'm just simplifying growth mindset for you. So because we have read too much textbook, we are not getting it. And Pick Me say no. And then Cowbell, the same person, I'm just assuming, goes to Cowbell. And we have this sachet milk, 100 naira, 50 naira, that poor people in Nigeria, and these people also want to drink milk. And Cowbell goes for the idea. And they bought. By the time Pick Mix saw that, even the rich are buying sachet, they turned their strategy and started doing, what is it called? Sachet milk, right? So Baileys, so many drinks, so many hypo came in, and Jik lost out. So every day we are living our lives, we need to learn. We need to know what is happening in the world. A lot of people don't know what is happening in the world, though. When you say something is happening in America or something happened in UK, they say, when, what year, which day? Some people don't even know the governor of Lagos State. They're just concerned with how we want to live our life, how we want to chop. But the truth is, for you to grow, you need to ask questions. You need to learn from I learn from everybody, anybody, and anything. I can learn from a danfo driver. I can learn a strategy from a bicycle, a keke rider. I've learned real life lessons that I use for my business from Igbo traders. But some people will look at this people and they will say, what do they have to offer? Then you are not ready to grow. So fixed mindset people, I will give you an example. So I traveled to the UK sometime in November, and I saw a lot of people that work at night. And so when they work at night, they sleep during the day. So I'm not asking, I'm like, so do you mean you sleep 24 hours, like throughout the day, and in the night you just go to work? And yeah, because I have to rest. Excuse me, sir, when I'm not 50 years. There are so many things. Yes, the salary is important, but at least if you can pick 2 or 3 hours to read a book, to put something down, you will add an extra income, right? So we agree. Let me see your communication on this chat box. You will add some extra income to your what you're earning. And I started giving them ideas. Do you know you can do this thing with your daytime? Do you know you can do that with your daytime? As we speak, some of them have started, but the lazy ones with the fixed mindset are still sleeping their life away and their destiny away. What am I saying? For you to grow in life, you need to have the growth mindset. The growth mindset person wants to ask questions. They want to read books. They want to learn from everybody and anybody. They want to quickly watch that 5-minute clip and then put down what they have learned. I don't watch movies without writing down. Be you The Wait, be you Shantytown. I jump on trends a lot. I didn't understand that. Sorry, Google Map, I'm not talking to you. So so in that movie that you have watched, what did you do? I go to the cinema with notepad. Make it no shock you. I write. And I'm moving. There are 2 things you see in my pen. You might not even see my phone, but you see a notepad and you see a book. It can be small, it can be big. That's growth mindset. Growth mindset, the person is ready to pick up things as they go along. You don't only wait to read and write when you're in the classroom. No. In the streets of Lagos, there is gold. The problem is a lot of people are blind. They walk the streets of Lagos with their eyes closed. I heard this thing in a seminar in 2009, and it changed my life forever. And I started praying one prayer. I said, Father, open my eyes. Oh, let me see. As I'm walking in this Lagos, let me see opportunities. Let me see what others are not seeing. And from that day, I started saying, I started writing down, I started dropping things, and my life changed forever. Let me drop it here. Ifechukwu is the academician. She can do the definitions very well for you. But these are my practical ones.
I was going to say that I love the combination of personalities I have here today. Ifechukwu is the cool, calm. You are the... I like that. Ifechukwu, are you still there?
Right. Thank you so much, Joyce. When you talked about how you go to the movie with a notepad and mama, and I'm like, and then you said it shocked you. It was quite mind-blowing that people go to the movie and then they have to write. But it's a good one because, you know, like how we started, everybody knows what works for them, right? And whatever works for you, you stick to it. Okay. So for me, when I'm talking about growth mindset with respect to achieving your goals, for me, there is nothing new under the sun, right? So whatever you want to achieve, somewhere, right, around the globe, somebody may have achieved it, right? So one thing you need to do also is to be able to go ahead, go out of your way to step outside your comfort zone. Now, as you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you're kind of researching or looking out for people who have achieved the kind of result that you want to achieve, right? And then you want to be able to notice what actually propelled them to achieve this result. Now, when you're also talking about growth mindset, you're looking at having like a resource audit for yourself. Now, when I mean resource audit, what do I mean? You want to be able to notice these skill sets that I have at the present. Can it support the future that I desire for myself? For example, maybe you want to be a musician. Yes, you're good at singing, but you have not done voice training. Maybe the kind of musician you want to be, you need to learn how to play instruments. You don't know how to play any instrument. Now, when you look at your, like I usually call it my toolbox, my skill set, the things that I need, what trainings do you need that can be able to expand your capacity to achieve? Because when you're talking about growth mindset, it's just your capacity to achieve, right? You want to also be able to ask yourself, okay, what books do I need to read? Who do I need to listen to? What trainings do I need to go for? So the more you are able to step out of your comfort zone and you're able to notice the things that you need, it becomes easier for you to know the area to focus your attention on. Because the truth is that if you're running about trying to achieve too many things at the same time, you may not be able to achieve it because you will lose focus. It is very, very easy to get distracted. Now, looking at fixed mindset, I might not necessarily tag or label someone who has a fixed mindset. Why? Because the person kind of has grown to learn that life is either black or white. Now, let me take it a little bit further. Sometimes like growing up, I learned that maybe being in school had a lot to do with scoring a particular, having a particular score. And it will interest you to know that I was not a child who did very well academically when I was growing up in my primary school. But then I had a support system that always encouraged me, right? It took me up until I got to secondary school to know that, oh, I can even do better. right? So if you begin to train your child in a way that, now this is digressing a bit to family now, but this is family meeting anyway. If you're beginning to train your child that if you don't score a particular, if you don't have a particular score in a result, in an exam, you have failed. You're kind of grooming that child to believe that everything is about just reading and passing. And for such people, you will notice that even when they read, they pass. If you call them in maybe after 2 months, they don't even remember, because it's like garbage in, garbage out. But if you are kind of grooming your children to know that they can actually be able to learn, or like maybe a child is doing something and he makes a mistake, and then you're breathing down on the child, this is how you are doing it, this is what you're doing that is wrong, this and that. So the child grows up to know that, or even adults that you see today, we have grown up to know that it's either you are doing it like this or you're doing, nobody is thinking outside the box. So growth mindset is you being able to do like a resource audit, you being able to ask yourself, how can I improve on myself? How can I expand myself? How can I move forward? I can tell you every day that I still take courses. Why? Because I want to grow. The truth is that every day we quote, it is easy for people to say anything your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Yes, it is true. But do you have the skill set? Do you have the resources? What are you doing to actually expand your capacity to achieve that result that you want? That is the truth. So if you want to be able to grow, you want to be able to be willing to take actionable steps. You want to be able to even ask yourself, how do you even measure this, your growth? Because there must be a way to measure what you're doing, because anything that does not have, a way for you to measure it, you may not be able to achieve your results. So we need to be actually, when you're talking about growth mindset, when it comes to growth goal setting, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? What skills do I have now? How can I improve my skill? Who do I need to help me? What environment will actually support this expansion? What network do I need? If you're saying, for example, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to you're not going out, you're not meeting people, you're not enrolling for any training, how do you intend to expand that capacity? So for you to be able to have a growth mindset is actually a place of stepping out of your comfort zone and actually being able to be aware of what you need to propel you to expand that capacity, right? So that is what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce and Ifechukwu. Wow, that's deep. I love the perspective the two of you brought into growth mindset and fixed mindset. And I want to build on that part where Ifechukwu came in to talk about bringing up our children with that mentality. If you're going to agree with me, guys, you know that the way we were brought up has a lot to do about who we have become. And this is where it comes in to say that if you discover that you have a fixed mindset, and when we say fixed mindset, please, we don't want to use it as a label. We're just saying that your mind is just comfortable. You are just in one safe place. And mind you, that place you call safe is not actually safe. You know, that comfort zone that is not always comfortable, where you're just, I got a job in the ministry, or they are paying me 75,000 naira. In the present Nigeria, with 75,000 naira take you anywhere. We are saying that you see that, okay, this is where I am, but I need to do more. I need to get to do more, because the way life is going, that amount will not be enough for me. So, and Ifechukwu mentioned how that some of us were raised to interpret not getting something right as failure, as a terrible thing. Saying that failure is not the end of the world. failure is a stepping stone. If you can change the way you see failure, then you will see that failure is just telling you that, oh, there's room for more. You have not gotten it yet. You need to do more to really get everything. And so if we are going to start seeing ourselves, seeing our life in that wise, then we wouldn't stop condemning the people, because that's what some of us do. We now see somebody that is a high flyer and we say, hey, she's the only one. That's how they'll be doing, as if they are the only ones. Can you snap out of it? Can you see it as a challenge to say, oh, if this person can do it, then I can. And you just do it. That friend of yours, that colleague of yours that is doing so well, doing a lot of things, and they have clarity about all those things. Can we not see them and just judge them? Could it be that it is your upbringing? Could it be that it is the environment you grew up from that is affecting the way you see some of those things? Can you pick up that understanding to say that, no, I have more. I have more to give, and I'm going to do it. Are you even paying attention to your inner self that it's always nudging you? Because the truth is, if you desire something, then it is in the radar. It is in the air for you. So what are the things you need to start putting in place, that you need to start doing consistently? Consistency is the mother of manifestation. Some of us just wake up and we do morning devotion. What is the morning devotion giving you? Is that really what you need to do? I am a Christian and I read my scriptures, but I don't do morning devotion the way we do it, the way we were told to do it. We just wake up, read Bible, we just pray and all, and we just go. No, that's not the way to it. Is it really delivering the results you want for you? Do you realize that a lot of people that does that, they don't even have results? Because that is not what is expected. Now, so at times I just pick my YouTube and it can even be Satguru, because I need a voice to speak the right word to me. The Bible does that, but is that what you need I'm talking about the things we do in the morning, because they are very important. I remember in those days, our parents would wake us up at 5 a.m. to say we should come and pray, and we'll be sleeping and we'll be complaining and all that. The only thing that thing did to me is helped me to be an early riser. That's the only thing. Do I remember everything I was being told then? I don't know. I don't know if I do remember now. But you see, as an individual, as an adult, we need to start thinking. Do you want to stay fixated to your old ways? Or you want to channel and chart a good course for yourself that will deliver that result to you? And that's where the routine comes in. How do you wake up? What are the things you do in the morning? I wake up with gratitude and I journal my gratitude. After waking up with my gratitude, I just stay still and meditate. Then I do my exercise. I do my exercise every morning, because I have discovered that there's an hormone that helps me to generate very early in the morning. It's like the dopamine, and so I'm high after my exercise. Then I get my notepad and I write. While I was exercising, some things are dropping. I start writing them out. Then I listen to a voice. It can even be my pastor. But what is it? What am I getting at that point? Which is very important. Is anything you get every morning, what are you feeding your mind with that will help you go through the day peacefully? Joy spoke about affirmation. I do my affirmation. And in affirming yourself, you're telling yourself, I'm great, I'm beautiful, I am bold. Coupled with my exercise, it pumps me up for the day and sets me ready, gets me ready for the day. So that when anything negative happens, my default response is peace. I just have that calmness and I enjoy it. I'm just at peace. I'm not running helter-skelter. I don't live my day with ambiguity. And this is the style we're talking about. These are the behaviors and the attitudes. And if you do it with the right behavior, your emotions will be positive. It will be right. Don't wake up with Nigerian news. I saying Boko Haram did this, killed 20 people, 10 people had been kidnapped. Don't wake up with those news, because they pass an information to your mind, and that is, you live your life like that. You live your day in fear. And that even truncates, helps, it makes you not to want to make any move. So we need to pay attention to all that. Ifechukwu had talked about that aspect of growth mindset in raising our kids. If you help your children to see the right thing, they won't feel tired. You help them to see the need to start their day right. They won't be tired. You don't need to go to their rooms. They have a why that is pushing them. They have a reason. They see mommy and daddy doing it. They see mommy and daddy as their mentor, and they want to be like daddy and mommy. And so you won't need to stress them to wake up or get out of bed. I know children can be children, but you call them once, you know, all those things like we always say at the family meeting, if you help them grow with it, they live with it. That's what the good book says. Train up a child in the way it should go, and he won't depart from it. Thank you so much, Ifechukwu and Joyce, for this amazing session. So Joyce mentioned ask questions. Please, if you're going to ask people, if you think, oh, if I ask this person, the person will make jest of me, or the person will go and gossip about me, then don't make that person your friend. That person is not your friend. A friend is somebody that is ready to share with you. We don't know it all. A friend is an accountability. It can be your accountability partner. Say, please hold my hand. Last year I goofed. Please, this year I love your results. I want to also get good results too. Don't be ashamed. It's a fixed mindset that says, if I go, they will make jest of me. If I ask her, she will go and be gossiping about me. Can we change that thing? Can we allow people gossip about us? It's not a big deal. It's not about you. It's about them. While they are gossiping about you, you are getting your results. While they are talking about you, you are getting that's the ultimate. The result is the most important to you, irrespective of how you get it. We see Joyce talking with all passion. Joyce is an amazing person. I see the things she do. I wonder, where is this girl getting all this energy from, you know? And of course, I'd be like, oh, I would like you to come and speak on my platform, because you have something to give. That's all I need. Come and share with us what you have. Other than just sitting and say, she's everywhere. Now, wow. No. Let's ask questions. Let's change our cycle of friends. Let's change our cycle of friends. Be friend with people that add value to you. Be on groups that add value to you. Don't be sentimental. Don't be sentimental at all. If they want to remove you, if they want to say, is she the only one? Let them do. You have where you're going, your focus. Focus on your focus. And don't allow anyone to. Please feel free. Admin, can you please drop? And I drop in the chat box that please, if you have, our reality, I always say this, our realities are different. Our realities are different. So my reality is different from yours. I might not be asking the question that you really want an answer to. So I want you to ask your question, ask your questions in the chat box, and let our guests respond to it. Please don't leave here without getting a response. Don't leave here without getting an answer to what is really popping your mind. I have dropped my phone number in the chat box. Please reach out if you need assistance. And today and tomorrow we have SOA. SOA is it's put together by the Institute of Family Engineering and Development. SOA is a tester to the Family Systems Engineering certification course, which we also, we have done family systems engineering, and that is why we're able to, all the practitioners I bring here, they are certified family systems engineering practitioners. And that is why we're able to talk the way we talk, because we are being taken through that process. We are being taken through this personal development journey. That is why we are transformational coach. If you are interested in joining, please, admin, can you drop the link in the chat box so that people can register for SOA, which is happening this evening and tomorrow. Okay, so while I wait for people to drop their questions, it's been a fantastic and an amazing one this morning. I will ask that, is Joyce still there? I know Joyce has another program at 10.
Yeah,
Joyce, yeah, you're still here. Okay, so while we want to release you, can you just give us your last words? What do you have to tell us? What do you want? I know you have teenagers. How is it? How is it raising? You're saying that you seize their gadgets. If that will work. And I hope you explain to them the reason why, so that they can learn from me. And it's not punishing us.
Yes. Oh yes. Please, thank you, Ebun, for the invite, and thanks for everyone that thanks to everyone that made that time to come. Thank you, Ife Chuku. I'm not Igbo, so but then don't worry, we are friends already. We are friends already. We'll connect. Yeah. So everyone that is here, for you to leave, we all have things that we're doing. Could have been in a party, could have been watching movies, but you made that time to be here. So I see you as serious-minded. Anybody that wants to add to their knowledge, anybody that lives, that makes learning a priority in their life is actually going somewhere. It's not everybody that will. What Zoom is that? What are they talking about? So well done for making that time. I would leave you guys with this. Life is a journey. Life is a journey. What I would want you to do is celebrate every simple win, every single step, line upon line, precept upon precept. It doesn't happen in a day. It's not magic. You will succeed at some point. You will fail at some point. But after failing, okay, somebody asking a question about young children. I'll round up with my children's journey. After failing, what do you do? Sometimes in life, we find ourselves in circumstances that we did not cause. I don't like using the word victim of circumstance. I'm not a victim, but it has happened. It has happened. What do? You pick yourself and move on again. So I'm a single mom, and it happened that I spent 10 years in a marriage that almost took my life, almost took my destiny. So I always say that the devil saw that this woman is going somewhere, and he brought this man to stop her. Because I hear words like, you're not going to amount to anything in life. You cannot do business. You are trying to fly. I will clip your wings. There was beating. There was maltreatment. There was, I will work and submit the money to the man. I can't buy anything for myself. I wasn't looking this good. I wear green upon red upon purple. That kind of lifestyle. And my people that lived around me, they see me today. I'm like, are you this beautiful? We never knew. People called me so many times to say, what are you still doing here? But find a way, go get out. But I really wanted to be married because my parents were married. My entire family, there's no divorcee. Why would I start that narrative for my family? So that was one of the reasons I stuck to it. And I said, we die here. But as God will adapt, we're not here for that story. It's a very long one. You can get my book. I have books for specific parts of my life. I'm a writer. So, and I dropped. The marriage ended, not my making, his making, and it ended. So I have 3 children to cater for, to be their father and be their mother. I'm a career woman. I have to look for money to feed them. I have to look. It's not this marriage that ended that the man will be supporting you. It's the one that ended that you are their daddy and their mommy. So you have to bring in the morals. You have to go and look for school fees. You have to, in a place called Nigeria, a place called Lagos State. You all know what, I know most of you have your husband's support. So your husband bring you, you are still fighting that the money is not enough. So that they're not left for one person to do. So I have these growing children. Of course, you pray. Of course, you read books. We've attended so many parental training programs and all that. But in the midst of it all, I always say that practical is different from theory. Do you agree? Like when you have this, after reading your book and going for courses, you have these children to face. That's why I put my children in my first daughter in one school. I don't want to call the name of the school, but all this million school. And I noticed she started changing. She started drifting. And thank God I was monitoring her. I noticed that she will enter my room briskly, money, then I will not check my money, I will not see it. Somebody touched it. So one day I called her, sat her down. We had a station. So I started asking her, because I found out that in that school of highly placed individuals, there was something they call a group, like a set up, a clique. And so somebody has to sponsor every day. So they rotate themselves. So beg, steal, borrow, they don't care. You have to bring money. And so she was forced to bring money, and that's how she started stealing. I was lucky enough to notice my child changing. I was lucky enough because I already had a relationship with them. Because you can two things not to do you. Failed marriage and failed children, failed family. No, God forbid. You understand? So I am very intentional about my kids and how they live their life daily. So I just first of all removed her from that school, put her on that cheaper school. Let's talk to real human beings like us and see how it goes. And she started changing. I saw the changes. And in that school, they formed that same clique. They wanted to go viral. So they put on, so there was something they did that they put, they light up paper. They'll bring matches, bring paper, and they start singing, and then they will start. So somebody was recording it. They steal phones, bring them to school. Somebody recorded it and put it on status. Somebody that saw it, like 3 seconds status thing. And the one person was able to pull it down. One of the teachers saw it. And so they summoned parents, and my daughter was part of them. Only in one school or in 1 year. So sometimes some look at the names of schools. So I was able to pull down my daughter out, talk to her. And today she has really changed. And we are getting on very well. Very talented young girl. My boy, the same thing. My last girl, yesterday was her birthday. I didn't celebrate her. What happened? She's not paying attention in class. So these things will keep coming as I have 3. Once you have children, they will keep happening. But the ability to tackle them and face them as they come, not paying attention in class and all that. Yesterday, I went to the assembly. She attends my school. I brought her out in the assembly, and I announced to everyone that there will be no birthday celebration in this school today. Everyone said, what? I said, because somebody isn't paying attention. Somebody did not do her homework. Somebody did not do X, Y, Z and all that. Yes, I've already had, one-on-one with her. But other children were following that line of not paying attention in class and all that. And so I told all of them, if you don't do well in school, you will not cut your cake in the class. in our school. You can have it at home, but here we are here to learn, and we need everybody to pay attention, do their homework and all that. Everybody got the drift. Everybody, my daughter didn't feel bad at all. You're okay, from now I'll start paying attention. I'll do so that we can celebrate more. I say, yes, once you start paying attention, I can even decide to celebrate the birthday next month and all that. What am I trying to say? We have to be present in our children's lives. We have to be present in our children, no matter how busy you are. So to just imagine me playing the role of father and mother, and I still have this time to sit with them, to follow them up, check their homework. On Sunday, I was checking her homework and she did something. Names of heroes in Africa. She was writing Nelson Mandela and all that. Like, Nelson Mandela is not Nigerian now. You understand? So it takes time, but we just have to be intentional as parents. It takes time. We need to, after all these things that we are running up and down, all the money we are trying to get, who are we fighting for? It's not our children. So if the children go bad, who will use the money? So I just want us to drop this with parents. Please be intentional about your kids. Let's ensure that some of these things that we are suffering, I think Ife mentioned it, we didn't have proper guidance growing up. I personally didn't have. My dad died at age 11. So I saw so many things that would have made me go haywire. But I just decided to take a decision that no, in this life, I want to be good. I want to be decent. And that's what I use for my children every day. I wrote a book, Back Against the Wall, and that book should be in the hand of every teenager. How I lived my life, even without my father, who was my hero, who was my mentor after he died, how I decided that no, I will not join Rose Girls. No, I can work and go to school. No, I went to a polytechnic, and I would say it with a full chest that I'm proud of my polytechnic distinction that I got. You know why? Because after writing JAMB, I was making it, but there was nobody to sponsor. An angel came to me and told me, why don't you go to polytechnic, do 2 years, and then you work 1 year, and then you go to for your HND, which I did. And today I employ university graduates, foreign degree people. Yes, I've increased my knowledge, done my MBA, doing my doctorate now. But then I did not sit down, not fold my hand. I made sure that I was intentional about my life, and that's what's in that book. So thank you so much, Ebun. God bless you. I'm also I also run a podcast, live series with Joyce Ugo. So I'm sure you want to hear my voice every morning when you wake up, pumping you up to do stuff. So Ebun will share the link with you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the honors. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Joy.
And I hope I did not waste people's time today.
Oh, no. I'm sure you can see in the chat box, people appreciating you. Did you see that? You are really an inspiration, you know? Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for being vulnerable with your story. We always say it here that anybody we bring here will tell you how they are doing. If you are divorced, they tell you. And it is because we have attained healing. Yeah. Healing is very, very important. Stuff happens to the best of us, right? Yeah. But you see, you need to get healing. And if you're able to get total healing, you're able to raise your kids well. And you don't have children that people will now be pointing at, you don't know the reason why she's behaving that because her mom and dad were not together anymore. No. And this is part of the reasons why we do this family meeting, so that parents can be whole, parents can get the right information, get the right knowledge to journey in life. And when you have the right knowledge, it is easier for you to raise wholesome children. Thank you very much, Joyce, for being vulnerable. Thank you for opening up. I think we have about 99% of women in the house, and I'm sure quite a number of us have been pumped up with this story. This is a woman like you. You know, I say that when I got divorced, I didn't have anybody to look up to. It was difficult. And I told myself, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to change the narrative. We should be able to come out, and not even in the church, you know. So, and now we have women coming out to operate in their real element, which is how it is supposed to be, so that others can learn from it and also break free. Thank you so much, Joyce. I truly appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to have you again on this platform. Have a nice rest of the day.
I need to run. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
So if somebody dropped a question in the chat box, how did you do it? I know you have kids too. And so how have you been able to? So I have Vivian and Victoria asking questions here. Vivian is asking how that it's overwhelming navigating her business, personal development, and taking care of the children. And she just has 24 hours. What do you think she can do? After that, we can also answer the question, what can I do to help my rebellion? Wow, that's a big one. Rebellion children unwilling to read, don't want to go to school. All they want is freedom and get paid. And he's 17. Yes, we feel that with you, ma'am. And Joyce, we throw more light. Let's listen to Joy, then I'll also cap it up for you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ifechukwu, sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Oftentimes when, as a mom, okay, and as an entrepreneur, I loved the question that Vivian asked, how can you strike a balance? Because sometimes you will notice that trying to achieve different things at the same time, okay, can actually make you feel stressed and overwhelmed. Now, one thing you need to do is to actually sit down to make a list. That's what I do, because there was a time, I had to function. There was a particular year I didn't have any help. Now, as an entrepreneur, I was running my physical products business. I had to still do some deliveries. I was also into the coaching business, and I had to, show up every week, doing live videos. I had to prepare. I have to still wake up at a certain time in the day to get the kids ready for school. You have to do laundry, you have to attend to your husband, personal development. But the truth is that they are all is something that is doable. Now, am I saying that it's easy? It will not be easy. So what did I do? What was the formula that worked for me, right? I had to actually have clarity on, my daily activities. Now, every day, I know what my routine is like. I know what I have to do. So I'll itemize all of them, like make a list. As I practically get a paper and a pen, and I put down all I have to do in one day. Then I begin to place it on my order of preference, right? So what I used to do then was that definitely, get the kids ready to go to school. I'll take my time to pray, do my meditation. Everything I had to also ensure that I need 100 and million things that you want to do. But if you're able to itemize them, you are able to know the items that will take priority and the ones that you can leave off. And then for that period of time, there were also times I had to schedule. So it wasn't like it was every day, like you have to do laundry, I have to do laundry. No, I had to put it, in perspective, schedule my time, schedule my week, right? Then for personal development, I knew that I needed some time. So sometimes I'll just apportion 1 hour. I can say, okay, I want to read articles today, or I want to do a particular online course today. I just use just few minutes, 20 minutes every day for your personal development. May seem too small, but then when you calculate it against the week, against the month, you will notice that you are making progress. Now, another thing I did was to actually be able to break down my line of focus when it came to personal development. So it's not like today I'm studying goal, tomorrow I'm studying confidence, next tomorrow I'm doing limiting. No, I had to break down my routine. I had to have a schedule for everything I usually do. And then for maybe like home management, you want to also have a specific day that you will be able to use to go to the market, or you want to be able to cook, so it doesn't look like it's every day you're cooking. You can also be able to have like a cooking schedule too. So you like a menu timetable. So it helps you to be able to know what it is that you want to, what the children will be eating. So it won't be like, oh, I'm washing clothes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If you're able to manage your time, itemize what you want to do, place it in the order of priority, start with the biggest things, okay, and narrow it down to the smallest things. Oftentimes, I've also realized that sometimes people think that when you have to do too many things at a time, that is what makes you productive. And most of them, I would say no. Even if it is 3 things or 4 items that you're able to achieve that day, it's enough, right? You being able to tell yourself, yes, I've actually been able to put in my best, as against trying to do everything at the same time. Then for your business, you want to be able to know what kind of business are you doing. You also want to know what stage, development stage is your family at. Because for example, now I have some children in primary school. I have some children a child in secondary school. I may not be able to compare myself with Ebon, who has a child that is already 18. So what Ebon may pay attention to doing, what she may show up every day on social media as a coach, I may not be able to do that, but I will not now use it as an excuse not to show up at all. So it helps, I'll be able to notice, okay, what can I do now? How can I add value? What do I do to be able to still move my business forward while carrying my family along? And then I want you to also look at raising your family from a point of value. Because there was a time I noticed that sometimes it was looking as if the home management was looking as if it was too stressful. But then I realized that it was my perception of it. So you want to also ask yourself, okay, what are my values? If, for example, like I'm big on love. So when I do things for my family, I see it as my way of adding value, of loving my family. So if I'm looking at it like, oh, I'm actually cooking because I love my family, the feeling I get is different. But if I begin to say, every day somebody will cook and clean and do this and do that, this is stress, I begin to interpret it as stress. My whole physiology sees it as stress. My family begin to be repulsive to me. Do you get? So you want to be able to sit down and ask yourself, okay, what are your key strengths or your value character strengths? What are your values? What are your character strengths? And how can you be able to apply it to your family? So one thing is needful, prioritize your time. You want to also be able to place a value on what you do. You want to also be able to limit, manage what you do. Don't do too many things at the same time so you don't get distracted or overwhelmed. You didn't finish some things that you want to do today. You have a chance to also do it tomorrow. You also want to take care of your health, because if you're running around and doing everything, one day you will break down and then you won't be able to now have time to give your energy and full concentration to your business, your family, okay, and then your personal life. So find time for self-care, find time to do what you need to do when you need to do it. It is not going to be easy, but it is doable. Right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ifechukwu. That's an amazing one. That's a good way to answer that question. And I'm going to point at one important thing you said, and that is that we are in different level. We're on different level in our journey. Life is a journey. I have an 18-year-old girl. She has a child in secondary and primary school. Somebody has children in primary, even in kindergarten. So you can't compare. Please, let's not compare ourselves. We are in different stages. And she has also said that you cannot balance your time. You cannot balance it. You can only harmonize it. You can only harmonize everything. Have a to-do list. You know, when she was talking, I remember my daughter is here. Even with that I have a child, I do a to-do list and I strike it out every day. I do a to-do list and I strike it out every day, you know, to say, okay, the ones I couldn't attain yesterday, I bring it forward to say, okay, so this, you know. To-do list is very good. It helps prepare your mind towards it. And when you have your to-do list, you can put time to read. To say that wake up 6 a.m., this. I would have done everything. You know, in one of the groups, this goal settings, this goal scoring, we have a community goal scoring group for people that took the goal scoring class. And a lady was like, she has become so cranky over the years that now she knows that the method that works for her is to wake up early before anybody wakes up, so that she would have even done all the cooking and everything before anybody wakes up. Because if they wake up and she starts seeing them, she will just be lashing out on them, you know. And so we have to take her through the process. That yes, it's a good method to do all these things before everybody wakes up. But that should not be the reason should not be that you will lash out on them. You need to learn to balance, just like Ifechukwu said, why are you doing it? I'm doing it because I love my family. I'm doing it because those kids are still very young and I want them to have a happy life. You don't want to scream and shout on your children in the morning. They get to school and they start behaving somehow because you have already set the course for the day for them by shouting on them. Will you get out? What is wrong with you? Leave there. Have you had your bath? You know, a lot of us don't know that when we do this, it affects them even in school. And so you need to work on your emotions. Very important. You need to work on your emotions. I have my number in the chat box. You want to talk about this, please reach out to me via WhatsApp, and we're going to put you under counselors that will help you to navigate and put all the systems and structure in place. My phone number is in the chat box. We have quite a number of practitioners that we work with, and they are going to assist you. Ifechukwu also talked about your to-do list. Yes, I've mentioned that. Prioritizing it, you know, which one comes first? Do I have to wash clothes every day? If yes, then get a washing machine. That will ease it, that will reduce the stress, right? So how do you go about? So that's why I was saying you can harmonize it. You can't balance it, especially if you still have kids. You can't balance it. And so don't be too hard on yourself. If you're able to, out of 4 tasks, you're able to do 3, celebrate yourself. Please celebrate yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Some people say, oh, my husband does not understand. My husband is this. We have a program in place for that. We can talk to you and your husband to help you harmonize and help you see maybe the way you are telling him, maybe the way you are passing the message across. Maybe you need to change the way, because I don't think anybody wants to be mean. We will even help you to process it, to say that, okay, why is it being like this? Why? What happened, you know? And we're able to help you get clarity on how to handle that. And somebody dropped a question. Ifechukwu, I don't know if you want to, we're running out of time. I don't know if you want to respond to the woman that said the child is rebellion, okay, and doesn't want to go to school and all, please.
Okay, while I celebrate you for being vulnerable to saying, oh, this is what is happening, I think I saw a place where she says, that's not, I think this place, this is okay, not my son.
My nephew.
My nephew. Okay, right. There are so many sides to this, right? First of all, you want to look at the background. Because you see someone behaving in a certain way, you want to, you know, be able to dig deep to trace the root of this rebelliousness, right? You want to also ask yourself, why is this child unwilling to learn? What is this child rebelling at? What was the environment? How was he brought up? Has it been in a home where he has always been suppressed? You want to be able to engage this child in a conversation, right? You want to notice, what does education or this academic unwillingness mean? Like, I give you an example. Growing up, I didn't know mathematics, right? I wasn't doing well academically. Now, was it practically my fault? Maybe partially, right? I actually was made to go to a school, like a family friend school, and little did my parents know that this school, that they didn't have, they weren't doing this properly. Don't read, right? And when a child is almost 6 and the child can read, now they would have said, okay, let them try in primary 1 and see if there's a way they can salvage the situation. But you know that when the foundation is faulty, right, it becomes difficult for you to be able to, set things straight, right? So I just gave you a foundation of where, how my own academic challenge started, right? So it made me associate reading and learning with pain. Because whenever the results are out, my friends are laughing because I didn't pass, right? Or maybe they'll say, what is your result this time around? There was a friend of mine that their mom used to carry us, home together. So she would say, if everybody's saying I was 3rd position, 1st position, and where's your result? And I said, they didn't give me in school. Of course, they gave me my result, but then, I wasn't proud of myself. So you want to be able to have a conversation or even dig deeper to find out if it's possible to even engage this child with a professional, a family-mind professional who is has expertise in the area of, teens, raising teens. You want to find out what is the root cause of this inability or unwillingness to read. Could it be that this child is reading and not understanding? Could it be that this child has been shamed so much that he has associated reading with pain, right? For me, the turning point was when I got into secondary school and I met a group of friends, right? And this particular friend always encouraged me, let's read, let's read. And I noticed that for the first time, I was 5th position. And I was like, hey, that means that I'm not dull after all, right? So that was how I started thriving academically. I may still not be good at maths because even my children sometimes will teach me certain things. And when they have maths homework, I have to wait for that deal because I can't go and explain what I don't know, right? So you want to be able to trace what is this child's background? What is making him even avoid school? Is he being shamed by even the educationers, the teachers themselves, right? Is there something in school that makes him not even want to show up? Is he being labeled in class by his peers? So there's so many sides to it. Now, when you say he wants freedom, how are you kind of going about the encouragement? Is it the kind of encouragement that is done forcefully? So one thing you also want to do is to ask yourself, what is the personality of this child? If it's a child who is more like what we call a creative convertible, who is, likes enjoyment, and then you are trying so hard to make this child stick to rules, you may not be able to get the best out of the child. So there are certain things that are necessary. We want to understand, the child's upbringing. We want to understand his academic history. We want to be able to understand what is actually causing this rebellion. Is it just maybe youthful exuberance? Is he being influenced by peers? What environment is he finding himself in? What does freedom really mean to him? So there are so many things that you want to actually be able to understand. And the one way to do this is to actually be able to get maybe help from a professional who can be able to guide you. In the meantime, have a conversation, asking, what do you even want? What do you want out of life? Okay, with how you are behaving, just like what we're talking about today, do you think it can lead you to where you want to go? Where do you want to start? Where are you having a challenge? And how can I help? Right? That will be a conversation you will have, you know, from time to time. You may not be able to get everything out at once, but then you can have this conversation maybe when you're in a relaxed environment, you know, you can ask questions, and then you are not doing it in a place of being judgmental. You're just allowing this child to be open to tell you what exactly, you know, he's feeling. Now, somebody else says, how do I manage them without shouting? Mine seems not to be cooperating at all. Now, you know that everything is about engineering, you know, Ebun, you agree with me. So life is more like monkey see, monkey do. It's like role modeling. So if you grew up in an environment where for you to be corrected, you know, you have to shout, you have to punch, you will quickly bring your shoe and, you know, throw. You will notice that even when you don't want to do some of those things, you will notice that you're doing them because it's what, you know, how you have been engineered. And that's why it's important to unlearn some of these things. And then unlearning it will not be easy, right? So you want to be able to understand, okay, why are they not cooperating? You want to also be able to find out how you can be able to connect to get them to cooperate. And that is where the family vision comes in. That is where the family values come in, because you want to ask yourself, does my family have a vision? Sometimes people will quickly say, yes, we have vision, but is this vision known to every member of your family?
Family.
Right? What are the values guiding your family? Like for now, in my own house now, there are sometimes, yes, I flip the lead. And then when I flip the lead, maybe I raise my voice and then I come back to my center and I apologize. And then we have a round table, like, what happened? You know, what was the reason for this? Everybody explains. You know, if I have to apologize as a parent, I do, right? But then you would notice that if you're raising value-based children, it shows in the activities you do. Like in our own home, one of our value is respect, right? So that means that everybody needs to be respected. Okay, so that it doesn't mean that respect is only for adults. Everybody is all encompassing. So I give you an example of what happened once. My child had a challenge with our help at home, and then she used an inappropriate word at him. And then he comes to me and then he says something back. So when he came, I said, were you being respectful? Then he said, but she spoke to me rudely. Then I said, but she's older than you. Then he says, but our family value is respect. So is it okay for children to respect adults and adults not respecting children? And I said, no, I'm not saying it's okay for you to be disrespected. Now, this child understands what the value is, right? So I told him that, you know, it is a value we're modeling. So even when you are disrespected by her, you can actually tell her that you don't appreciate this. You can let me know, and then we can know how to handle it, right? So some of these things will not happen overnight. Like tonight, we're having SOA. That is the reason why you also need to come in to learn how these things should be done. If you're not able to, you can be able to attach yourself to a parent coach, like Ebun is a parent coach. We have so many parent coaches in the in our field, in our family life space that you can learn from, okay? So it is something that you do intentionally, okay, with like your emotional intelligence. You need to know how to regulate your emotions so that you can be able to model that particular thing you want to be. So if you're saying, for example, that your children are shouting everywhere, are you shouting because they are seeing what you're doing? If you are saying that your children are behaving in a certain way, look inwards, look very well. Is it what you are doing? Because children learn from role modeling. So there's a lot to learn. It is not something that will happen overnight. I didn't get here overnight. I'm still learning. I'm still growing, right? I still have parent coaches I follow, right? It is actually going to be an intentional work. It will require some consistency, dedication, and hard work. So let me allow our parenting guru to also talk about this.
Thank you, Ifechukwu. You have actually answered the question very well, and touching on if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? If see these children, that's one that is rebellion with that beautiful handsome baby that they brought home from the hospital that day. And you were all excited. Oh, baby boy, and all. And so you started writing in that boy's mind. He started seeing and picking a lot of things. And now you said it's just 17. 17 is not just, because you are receiving your report card already as a parent. He's your nephew, but the parents are already collecting their report sheet. That's the report sheet of how he was raised. And so we say it here every time to say that the way we raise our children, by the time they are 18 and you start collecting the report card, you will now be complaining. No, you are the one that did it that way, right? There's a parenting challenge happening. Admin, please, can you drop the link in the chat box? I thought I saw you drop it. Omotola, please drop the link to the Parents Challenge. This is starting this week.
I've dropped it. I'll drop it again.
Okay. Please do, because I can't see it from my end. Yeah, thank you. So please, as many of us that want to be able to regulate our relationship with our children, please jump on that challenge. Please jump on it. Parenting challenge is coming up. Please jump on that challenge. Don't think about how much it will cost you. It's a good place to invest in. It is a good place. See, you need that peace of mind. You need that rest to be able to bring up these children and to also be who you are designed to be. You won't get to heaven and God is asking what happened. He said, you that gave me naughty children. I was all over taking care of them and I couldn't fulfill my own purpose. Hey, I don't think God would take that as an excuse. So we need to put the system and structure in place. And that is why this parenting challenge is coming up. During the parenting challenge, you're also going to experience healing. Ifechukwu talked about how that the way we were raised is the way some of us are raising our children. And if care is not taken, you will get the same results your parents got. And part of the results they got was that you are saying, I will never be like my own mother, my mommy. In fact, some of us, we don't want our children to go and spend holidays with our mother, with our parents, because of the way we were raised. Do you understand? So we need to get it straight. We need to get healed from all those things. Please, I'm saying it again. This is very important because it is part of the things that will help you achieve and fulfill purpose in life. And with this, we come to the end of the show this month. I'm so sorry I've taken like 10 minutes of your time. We don't do this. We end